Circle of the Moon. Druids of the Circle of the Moon draw on the magic of the moon to transform themselves into guard to wilds. Their order gathers under the full moon to share news and perform rituals. Wander to the deepest parts of the wilderness, where they might go for weeks before crossing paths with another person, let alone druids. Changeable as the moon, a druid of this circle might prowl as a great cat one night, soar over the treetops as an eagle the next day, and crash through the undergrowth as a bear to drive off a trespassing monster. The wild is in the druid's blood. So, weird question. Very weird question. I just realized, is Circle of the Moon the transforming one because of werewolves? Is that where Circle of the Moon coming into transforming comes from? Because I like the fact that they're saying like under the full moon, and then it's like changeable as the moon. It's like, ah yes, that's where that comes from. Good to know. Nice. Anyway, all right. Cool. So circle form has returned from the 2014 version of this subclass. Okay. Does that mean we're going to see better forms? Features, no feature. Okay. Now let's use either your AC or Beast Form's AC. Whichever is higher. Wait, what? Wait, Wild Shape didn't change your AC? Really? I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Wait, hold on. Did Wild Shape not? Rules were all transformed. Your statistics are replaced, but you retain your hit points, hit dice, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, class features, features. Also retain skill and saving throw proficiencies, your proficiency bonus, and creature has the same proficiency as you, the bonus. Creatures any other, you can't use them. It doesn't say anything about AC. It doesn't say anything about AC. I would assume it. Oh wait, hold on. How does it? Sorry, wait, hold on. Has returned from the 20. The features now lets you either or your beast form is whichever is higher. Oh right, so in the wild shape you're probably gonna have to use your beast forms, but now you can use your own if you want to. Okay, sure. Always have Moonbeam prepared. The feature also lets you cast abjuration spells, but most healing spells are now abjuration. Moonlight Step is a new 10th level feature, and Lunar Form, which lets the druid teleport, and a new 14th level, which enhances other features in the subclass. Okay. Circle forms. The rights of your circle grants you the ability to transform into more dangerous animal forms. Matchbook's challenge rating for your wild shape is 1. Yeah, and then here you get improved. Okay. I was like, what? That's 2 different features. Okay. Combat wild shape. You have learned ancient techniques that allow you to channel the magic of the moon to bolster yourself while using wild shape, granting you the following benefits. When you assume a wild shape form, compare the beast's AC to your AC, including any armor that you're wearing, but not a shield. While in that form, you can use whichever AC is higher. Nice. Temporary hit points. When you assume a wild shape form, you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the form's hit points or 3 times your druid level, whichever number is lower. Oh. Lower, damn it. For example, if you turn into a wolf as a 5th level druid, you gain 11 temporary hit points since 3 times your druid level is higher than the wolf's hit points. Okay, so... Okay. So technically each wild shape is worth 3 times your druid level in hit points. And it's temporary hit points, which also has the added weakness of making you lose out on any like for example the College of Glamour temporary hit points and shit. Which is interesting and is not as big of a nerf as I was expecting. I'm pretty sure you're very early on going to surpass. You're not. Your forms are, I think, going to surpass your temporary hit points pretty easily. Although that's not necessarily true. I don't know this. I don't know the hit points of like beasts off the top of my head. Like the fact that you start out as a first level beast, a giant spider is already like 26, I think. So I think you get higher than 3 times your druid level very easily. So I think you can assume you kind of just like get 3 times your druid level. And if you go into a small creature, it's usually for scouting purposes, I would assume. So I'm not opposed to this. They again, the nerf to the hit points was clearly a nerf that was there because of Barbarian, and because honestly even just Moondruid by itself had a shit ton of hit points, which if you've played either Solasta or Baldur's Gate you would know. I'm fine with this. I'm gonna be honest, I'm fine with this. This is one of those times where they make a change and I legitimately think like this is something that they thought about. Because I think they knew. I think one of the big weaknesses of like one of the big reasons of playing Circle of the Moon was the fact that you were able to fight in your wild shapes. And you don't want to take that away, and it felt like that was taken away when we got it. So like, yeah. Abjuration spells, so we know that these are healing spells, and you always have the Moonbeam spell prepared while in wild shape form, and you can cast a spell in that form without material components. You can cast Moonbeam while being a creature. That's kind of insane. It's kind of fun. And then they just made your level 6, the maximum challenge rating of your wild shape now equals your druid level divided by 3 rounded down. And in addition, each of your attacks in the wild shape form can deal its normal damage or radiant. You can make this choice each time you hit with those attacks. Okay. Oh yeah, it used to be magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. Does making it a radiant attack make it magical? I don't know. Moonlight Step used to be... Oh right, you used to be able to transform into an elemental. Which was broken. Let's be honest about this. That was broken. Magically transport yourself, reappearing amid a burst of moonlight. As a bonus action, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. You have advantage on the next attack roll you make before the end of your turn. Okay. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can also regain uses by expending a spell slot of 2nd level or higher for each use you want to restore. I like the fact that they're like making a bunch of these features restorable by spending spell slots. I will admit that. But, because there always has to be a but. No, wait. Because Wild Shape lets you use your... lets you use your features, right? Hold on. Class features. So you can use this. Does that mean you can wait, I thought you... Yeah, no spell casting. So you can't cast spells, but you can use features. So you can do this while in your wild-shaped form. You can bonus action teleport and hit someone an advantage. Okay, no. This is decent. This is really decent then. Okay. You can use this feature number of times equal to your Mism modifier, sure. At 10th level, that's probably 20. And then lunar form, while your moonbeam is active, you can move it up to 60 feet at the start of each of your turns. Nice. Whenever you use Moonlight Step, you can also teleport one willing creature. It must be within 10 feet of you, and you teleport it to an unoccupied space you can see within 10 feet of your destination space. Good. You can't usually move Moonbeam, right? I don't think you can usually move Moonbeam, as far as I remember. Oh no, you can use an action to move the beam 60 feet in any direction, but you can do it as a bonus action. Oh, no action required. But at the start of each of you have to do it at the start of your turn. But you don't have to use an action for it. That's pretty dope. Moonbeam's not a bad spell. Damn. You can even cast it at higher levels if you want. Nice. That's okay, sure. So what were the original features for this? 14 was just you can cast Alter Self at will, which to be fair is pretty freaking good. An Elemental Wild Shape was you can transform into Air Elemental, Earth Elemental, Fire Elemental, Water Elemental, which, to be fair, at 10th level, being able to transform into a CR5 creature is pretty good. I think they also got rid of like the Spike Growth combo, where like you transform into an Air Elemental, you cast Spike Growth, and you just like just like throw them over 80 feet, which is 16 squares, which is 32 d4, which is like 80 points of damage on average. Yeah, let's not do that. Here's what I stand on Moondruid, right? I think this at least is a fair nerf to it. The previous one was not a fair nerf, was not well designed, was just bad. I still think there is stuff in the Druid class that I am not necessarily a fan of. For example, the fact that it feels like Cleric Incarnate. But this is fair. I'm okay with this. I'm not going to talk about like power scaling. I need to test it for that. But this feels like a less broken version of Moondruid, because Moondruid in and of itself, let's be honest, was ridiculous. You could play a Moondruid. The only reason Keyleth died in campaign 1 of Crick Roll was because Marisha literally jumped off a cliff. This is like, yeah, so, you know, and technically she should have survived that, which is the funny part of that conversation. Which is yeah, so like, yeah. So I'm fine with this. I'm honestly fine with this. It's definitely not as broken. It's definitely not going to make Bearbarian a broken build. You're also not able to do the multi-class at level 5 anymore. You have to be level 6 now because you need 3 levels to get into Circle of the Moon. I think this is fair. That's all I'll say. Circle of the Sea. Druids of the Circle of the Sea draw on the tempestuous and natural forces of the world's oceans and storms. Some view themselves as embodiments of nature's wrath, seeking vengeance against those who despoil the natural order. Others seek mythical unity with nature by attuning themselves to the ebb and flow of the tides, following the rush of currents and waves, and listening to the inscrutable whispers and roars of the wind. Okay. This is a new one, right? Circle spells. Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind, Ray of Frost, Shatter, and Thunderwave. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Wait, did Moondruid get... Moondruid didn't get... Okay, so C does get... Oh, is that why they got rid of... Is that why there's not that many in here? There's like a coast one. Is that why they got rid of so many of them, because they're planning on turning them into subclasses? I don't know. Sleet Storm, Lightning Bolts. Lightning Bolt's pretty good. Control Water's pretty good. Ice Storm's pretty good. Conjure Elemental's great. Hold Monster's pretty good. Decent spell list, to be honest. Shatter, pretty decent. Thunderwave, pretty decent. Definitely not a problem with these. And you get Ray of Frost as a cantrip. As a bonus action, you expend a use of your Wild Shape, sure, to manifest an aura that takes the form of ocean spray that surrounds you. The aura lasts for 10 minutes. And it's early if you have the incapacitated condition, dismiss it, no action required, or manifest the aura again. At the end of each of your turns, you can choose another creature you can see within 10 feet of yourself. Target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw against your spell, save DC, or take thunder damage, and if the creature is large or smaller, be pushed up to 15 feet away from you. To determine this damage, roll a number of d6s equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. So at 3, this would be 3d6, and you'd go up to 5d6 every... And you'd activate it as a bonus action. As a bonus action, let's say at 4th level, let's assume you're at 18. At that point, you'd be going for like 14 damage and a pushing effect within 10 feet of you. That's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's not bad. Actually, I just realized something that I wanted to check for Moondruid. How do you... Oh, you can just wild shape again and leave. You can wild shape again or leave the form early as a bonus action. Okay, so you don't have to like get out first and then... Sorry, I wanted to check that for a second. This is okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's damage. It pushes creatures 15 feet away from you. Which doesn't that feel weird that there's a they need to be within 10 feet of you, but then you push them 15 feet away? Like, I don't know. Feels weird. Aquatic Affinity, you always have water breathing prepared. You get a swim speed equal to your speed. If you wild shape to assume that lacks a swim speed, the form gains your swim speed. Okay. Sure. Your Wrath of the Sea confers 2 more benefits. You gain a fly speed equal to your speed. Sure, and you have resistance to cold, lightning, and thunder damage. This is starting to be a little bit more okay. Whenever you use Wrath of the Sea, you can manifest the aura around one willing creature within 60 feet of you rather than manifesting it around yourself. The creature gains all the benefits of the aura. Spell save DC, your spell save DC and wisdom modifier for it. Manifest the aura around both the other creature and yourself if you expend 2 uses. I'd put the 14 to 3. I think that makes it decent. Here's the thing. Wrath of the Sea is not a bad ability. It's not. It's... The problem with it is you're expected to be within 10 feet, so you're probably going to need to go for like more of a aggressive quote-unquote druid, as in... You're probably gonna need to go with medium armor. You're already wasting your bonus action, so you can't use Shillelagh on the same turn. So you're probably going to be expected to hit with something other than this. Although this is a feature, so you can cast a high-level spell with it, to be fair. And you do have Shatter and Thunderwave. The issue... Also, this is at the end of each of your turns. This is at the end of each of your turns, which means pushing them away is gonna matter, is only gonna matter in case of terrain. Like if there's terrain nearby where it matters, is only gonna matter if you push them towards another one of your party. But like, this is not gonna push them away from you in a way where it's like, now you can't hit me. And using like Thunder Wave on them, therefore, does not matter either, because you're pushing them 15 feet away, and you move up to them, you push them 15 feet more away. Sure, you can push them 30 feet, but that only matters if the terrain allows for it. Wrath of the Sea. Honestly, ironically enough, Wrath of the Sea is really good when you're at sea. Because you can push people back into the water. It's ironically enough. It's a funny little coincidence. I think this should be on the base ability. And then put something else here. This is good. This is pretty decent. I think Stormborn is good. This is meh. It's fine. This seems like, ironically enough, if you play a sea campaign, this seems like a really good circle. Not just lore-wise, but just ability-wise. All right. Do it.